My name's James Morton. I've just finished recording my Funk Improvisation Series 1. This series is aimed at people who want to improvise and learn how to improvise in a funky way in this genre of music and other genres of music too. There is some vocabulary and licks and sample solos in there, but the series is really designed so you can be creative and express yourself with your voice. There are 6 lessons in this series. Lesson 1 looks at the pentatonic scale and also starting phrases and different points in the bar. In lesson 2 we introduce the blue note, so we start looking at the blues scale and funky ways of practicing the blues scale using this groove with this backing track. In lesson 3 we look at our 3-note groupings, which is a way of practicing rhythm in a funky way and adding natural dynamics into our improvisation, into our soloing. In lesson 4 we start to look at the natural 6th, which is a really cool note to use on this particular groove and funky playing. In lesson 5 we start to look at funky fake fingerings, quarter tones, trills and inflections. And in lesson 6 we bring all these ideas together, giving you a grounded concept on how to play in a funky way. The way this series is put together, it's useful for people of all standards, right from beginners learning what a pentatonic scale is, right through to advanced students, giving them interesting ways to practice scales, introducing the 6th and our 3-note groupings, to advanced fingerings and concepts. So really, no matter what standard you are, you can get something funky out of this series. I've designed this series because when I was younger, a teenager, and I was out there playing gigs in bars and clubs and festivals even, and I would have loved to have a resource like this where someone took me through funky concepts and scales and just explained how to make this funky sound, and also having a backing track to play along to, which is a really great tool to practice with. So I've designed this series as if I was designing it for myself 15 years ago. The backing track for this series is part of the James Morton collection, which is a collection of funky backing tracks, which we recorded with a live band here in the studio. The tracks were designed and written by myself and Johnny Henderson. He's a fantastic Hammond organ player who's been working with Matt Schofield for years, and he's been nominated the Best British Blues Keyboard Player, I think, for the last 3 years running. So he's very, very funky player, and the band that we've got on the track are really funky. So it's been a lot of fun writing these backing tracks and recording them and teaching with them too. All these backing tracks in my James Morton collection are available to buy individually and as a package, and you can preview each track and check out what it's about and have a lot of fun jamming along. This series has many layers to it. It starts off with basics, looking at the basic minor pentatonic scale, which you need to get down. You need to learn that regardless of what you're doing. You need to have that underneath your fingers. But there's also a lot deeper concepts in there which you can work on for years and years and years, which I still work on now myself. Things like starting phrases and different points in the bar, things like working 3-note groupings into your solos, and being aware of the harmony, so when we're talking about introducing the 6th. So it really is aimed at getting people started from the get-go, and also right through to advanced students developing their ideas and developing their voice. I had a lot of fun making this series, recording the backing track and playing the sample solos and taking you guys through the concepts behind the lessons. So yeah, we really had a lot of fun developing and recording the series. This is the first series out of a group of series aimed at this genre of funk music and getting you to play saxophone in a funky way. So in series 2 we'll be looking at some other concepts and developing on the ideas that we've looked at already, but there's lots more series on the way. In the series, there is a tone and gear section where I explain what my saxophone setup is, what reed I'm using, what mouthpiece I'm using, the ligature that I'm using, the horn, and the other accessories too, and explain why I use them and how I get the sound that I get. Hopefully this series will give you the things that I didn't have when I was getting into funk music, getting into playing and improvising on funk music, and put you on the right path to playing in a funky way, absorbing some funk vocabulary, thinking about some cool concepts, how to be creative and project your own voice. And it's just ongoing, cumulative building of knowledge and funkiness.